Hey guys, Andrew from Mcnasty Customz. I figured we'd go over our vapor honing real quick while we're doing some of these restores on a couple of our own bikes. We'll show you what a vapor honing machine possibly does compared to a sandblaster. A sandblaster does a really great job, and it actually does a better job for cleaning up heavy like paint and so on and removing stuff like that. A sandblaster gets in there with whatever sand or so on, glass bead, whatever, walnut shell, whatever you're using, will actually penetrate the metal pieces, aluminum pieces a lot better, but it actually leaves a very rough surface. So what the vapor honing does is it adds water to the sandblast. So the sandblaster would be air and material, so air and glass bead pushed through the line and onto your product. What the actual vapor honing is, it can be the same glass bead, it can also be air, it's also with air, but it adds water to it. So when the water hits the actual metal surface itself, it kind of peens and rolls over the metal as it's going over it. So it cleans it extremely well, but it leaves it so you can actually touch it with a shinier finish. So obviously if you've sandblasted anything, you know that you can't, it's very porous. You can't touch it. Once you touch it, you leave a fingerprint in behind, you can leave dirt in behind. So after you sandblast something, you need to top coat it, clean it, you need to do something with it. With a vapor hone, you don't need to do that. It's actually a shiny, clean surface that you can touch over and over, and it absolutely is a finished product that doesn't leave any kind of dirt behind. It's good on plastic, brass, leather, all kinds of things that you can use it for that it does not damage. It's not very abrasive, but it cleans very well. It's an odd thing. So you got this is a very nice machine. This is the better closed loop machine, which means the excess water goes into this drain down here and into a tank, and it feeds it back up and over. So you'll have your main hose, which you'll have your media come out and you'll clean with. Then you have like a guarding hose, which will be clean water. You don't want any kind of sand, glass bead, or anything going through it. So the main hose to clean with, and there's also a setup here for the windshield wipers that sprays fresh water that you don't want media going through as well. That's what this lower tank is for. You don't have to buy it. It's more expensive to buy this one. It's nicer setup. You don't have to buy this one, but you'll constantly need to be hooked to a hose, and you'll have to keep unfilling and dumping buckets if you don't have this setup, depending on how much you use. If you're only going to do a carburetor or two, it's not really a big deal. But then again, you don't need a machine this size. You can buy a much smaller, a single operating station. This is a dual operating station, just so you can do bigger parts. So we're going to show you real quick. We got this in a dark corner, so obviously the light's not that great. We got it in a dark corner for a reason. So one switch turns on the entire machine. The only other thing you need to it is air in the back. Obviously, like I said, this is a double station setup, so you can do larger parts, whatever you need to do. And this is a closed loop, so all the water in the tank, it'll come to a level, it'll dump out into this lower pan, and then when it reaches a height in the lower pan, it'll fill into the tank. That tank is where all this water gets recycled. Clean water, that's all clean water, because it has a level of sand in the hopper, and the water level above that drains back off. So as you use this hose in here and you washing off a pot, it's going to fill your hopper, because you're adding water to the system. Once it gets to a certain level, the water will roll back down. Once it gets to a height, and it will roll into this pan, and it'll keep rolling itself around. And if you don't use the water for the hose or the windshield wipers or whatever else it is, the window wipers, then these tanks really don't get used that much. So, like I said, it's more expensive to buy the closed loop, but it's much easier, and it's all self-contained. You don't need to hook up hoses, you don't need to be walking buckets out, and so on and so on. So we're going to show you real quick. This is the large door. Obviously, it opens up, and you have your 4 gloves on this side, obviously. Your windshield wipers up here, and then the water will come through. And on the front, you have your settings on to turn them on, how fast you want the water to flow, how fast you want the windshield wiper to go. It can be timed, because it doesn't need to be running like a full rainstorm car. And then you can see how big this hopper is. So I get my complete arm all the way to the back. We're going to take it off the pedestal, and we'll show you. We'll do a close-up. And we're going to show you how to do a couple of products real quick. I don't know how this is going to come out, because I don't really know how well you're going to see into the stand. However, I just did, this just came out. This is a YZ80 carburetor for a 1987 YZ80. So this is a cable still on it, complete setup. YZ80 carburetor. This is straight off a bike. We have a WR500 carburetor in there as well. And we're going to be blasting these two to show you exactly what's going on. This is the same 1987 YZ80 carburetor. However, we blasted it. So you can see it has like a slight shine to it. You can rub your fingers over it all day long. It's not going to make it any dirtier. You can go right over the plastic. You can sandblast the brass. And then obviously we'll clean up this carburetor once it's all done. It's obviously still wet. But you can see how clean. I don't know if that's clean in there. Yeah, it's still got sand in there. So obviously you're going to have to rinse this off really well and clean this really well. But a before and after obviously is a huge difference here. I'll throw these in there. Well, this one's already finished, so we're not throwing that one in there. And I got some sample pieces in here. I've been playing with this on and off. Very easy. Get your gloves. Make sure you're obviously not going to squish them in the door. I don't even lock both of them. I just close the lower. And that's it. It's closed. All you have to really do at this point is step on that little orange pedal that's down there. Boop. There she is. Step on that and everything will work. The windshield wiper will come on and it will blast sand. So guys, there's your main control box right here. Like I said, all you do is you click on the on-off switch. That's all you got to do. It's your main wiring in your control box. It does look complicated, but it's really not. Here's your two locks for your door. And then all you do is you plug in your air on this side over here. It has a built-in regulator. There's your drains down the bottom there if you wanted to drain it to drain your water and change your media. The top one is the water level, the second one is the media level. It has a bunch of solenoids, a bunch of setups. Here's your air vent to come out the top, so anything going inside, any pressure inside. There's your lower pump right there to get the water that flows, and there is your drain. So once the water height gets to a certain level, you open up the drain and you're all set. It'll drain in. We got a few different boxes, bunch of electrical, bunch of air hoses, and there's a close-up of your two drains. All you do to make this work, simply step on that pedal. Let me reach in here, grab the hose so I can show you. So then you'll have your two hoses. You'll have your one water hose, which will be just clean water. And then you will have your main hose. Let me step on the, get the windshield wipe, there we go. And that's your main hose. The white line is going to be where you get your feed from, and the red line is going to be the air. So let me see if I can set up this camera. Okay guys, so like you can see in the picture, we have this WR500 carburetor. It's pretty clean. I mean, the window is pretty clean, so what you're going to be able to see is going to probably vary back and forth, but you can see that the carburetor is extremely dirty. You grab your hose. Like I said, the white one is the feed of the supply of the sand, and the red one is the air. The windshield wiper is going to come on, and we are going to start spraying. It is going to get loud. I don't know what you're going to be able to hear, but here we go. Very slowly, you just go back and forth and you clean the area. It probably takes a total of, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes to clean this carburetor from start to finish. So we will take it from there, so here we go. See, trying to do this while looking at the camera outside. And you can see on that bottom corner, it's already pretty shiny. Now let's do the whole bottom of the carb. Let's do the entire lower bowl. I should say that I have glass bead in here. The glass bead is what VHT recommended for the shiniest, smoothest surface. Also, this machine takes 35 pounds of mixture. Watch, we're going to do just the center. So, I mean, I know it's a little foggy in there, but you can see the circle. So that side of the carburetor compared to that side. Well, the bowl's getting close. So the bowl, a little bit in here. So I'm trying to do this in real time to show you exactly, you know, everybody fast forwards their videos, that's why I'm just showing the bowl. Got a couple little more spots that I want to get, and I'm going to pull it out and show you guys exactly what we did. And that's looking pretty good. Get around this area. So once you're done, obviously you're going to clean it off, but you can take the carburetor apart and actually blast the insides. That way you can get around all these little areas where the bolts are still in. You can clean those up even better. But I'm just obviously showing you this for the video. This is the first step. Okay, so now you would use your hose and you would spray it off, and obviously there's sand all inside the bowl. I mean, you're gonna have to take this thing completely apart and clean it out once it's done, but now we'll spray it off just to get the majority of the sand out so I can take this out and show you. I'm gonna spray it really good inside and out. You know what? I'm also going to do this little area here real quick because I don't even know what this is going to come out. It's gold steel, so it's zinc plated steel or something along those lines. Let's just see what happens. Okay, well, we will rinse it off. Where's our other hose? Yeah. All right. We will rinse it off and we will pull it out and see what we have. Also has a drip tray right here, so when you open the door, the majority of whatever comes off the door will drip into the drip tray and not on your floor, so it is actually pretty clean. So let's see what we got here, guys. So, here's what everything looked like. Up top, and then there's where your bowl is. So now you saw me do this live time, so you can see exactly how long it takes. Obviously, when you go on and watch videos and you don't really know what's going on, nobody does it in live time. They don't tell you how long this stuff's going to take. Some stuff's obviously going to take longer than others, and clearly it's going to depend on the media, the condition of your item, and so on. But you can see that this is a dirty old used carb that hasn't been cleaned in quite some time. So you can see the difference between the top and the bottom. And now we will look at the choke area. There's the rubber right here that you completely leave it together and the rubber's fine. The brass is beautiful, looks brand new brass again. However, it did take the slightly gold finish off of this, so it must have been like gold paint or something. It did take it off, however, it looks brand new. I'll take this all apart once it's done. Well, it is working actually. Oh, there it is. So you're gonna take this all apart, clean it all out, but I'm gonna pull the bowl off when it's done. I'm gonna do a hole outside and I'll take everything off. I'll do the inside the bowls and everything, and then we'll have a perfectly fine carburetor. So let me clean this up and finish it up, and then we'll take it from there. We'll shoot back to the end of this video with a clean WR 500 carb. Keep watching. So guys, there you have it. We have all three carburetors done. We took apart the WR 500 and show you some of these pieces here. That's obviously the bowl once it's all cleaned up. And then we will show you the actual carburetor. So obviously there's going to be some more cleaning. We're going to totally disassemble this, clean every single piece before we put it back together. We will just show you how good it looks inside here, nice and clean. I know the lighting's not the best. We are working on that. But there is your carburetor. Ooh. There she is. That's a little bit better. So, cleaned right inside. Cleaned all this up. This was all tarnished. Cleaned it all up. And then we have, obviously, the YZ80 carburetor, which I'd like to show you something as well. So, you see how rusted that is? And this down here is not. Super clean. So that is the YZ80 carburetor. So the first bowl that we showed you, we did in real time so you can see it. I did all three of these carburetors. I have not done inside the YZ80 carburetors yet. I've done all three of these carburetors, honestly, from start to finish, making the video in probably 30 minutes. So 10 minutes a piece. I'll take apart the YZ80s, clean inside there, but I also had to set up and move the camera around and so on. So I don't know, we're trying to bring you some better content, so on. We got some big things coming for the future. We're not going to release or say what they are yet, but trust me, they're big things compared to what we've got going on here. Hopefully we get some better lighting and so on. And I don't know, guys, just a quick vapor hone Technologigs. So really quick, this machine was about $13,000 and change. You can buy a single, like I said, station machine that doesn't have to be a closed loop. It can be a lot cheaper. I think they start around $4,500, $5,000, so you could be doing this. I just want to let you know, I tried doing the white gas tank to try to see if maybe I could polish it down and get it back to the white, you know, the yellowing off of it, and it really didn't work. You can do dirt bike boots and so on and bring them back to new. This machine is not quite what I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to put stuff in there and blast rims. That's why you see a wheel in the back here. Blast the stainless steel spokes and the aluminum. And I mean, the machine works. But I mean, not exactly what I thought this was going to be the miracle of all miracle finished products. You know, I got a set of forks in here for the YZ80 lower fork tubes. I sanded them all down real quick and hit them, and it's not the exact finish that I thought it was going to be. So, some aluminums, cast aluminums and so on are a lot different than others. Some are going to shine up better than others, and some are going to look better than some are just going to be dull no matter what happens. So, don't think that this is some miracle machine that all your vintage parts on all your rebuilds are going to be just perfect. I bought it for lower tubes, I bought it for carburetors, swing arms, rims, and triple trees. I don't know if I should have bought a $13,000 machine is all I'm going to say. Might be too much. At $5,000 or something, well, you know, but now $13,000, I personally, I don't do this for the public, so I'm not going to make my money back on this one. You live and you learn, but whatever it is. But it does leave a really nice product, a really nice finish. It's completely up to you if you want it for your shop. That's your call. Give them a call, let them know. I had a couple small issues. I talked to Hunter there, and he walked me through the majority of stuff. So they're really good people down there. They try to work with you and so on. So guys, thanks for watching this video. Like and subscribe. We'll take it from there. Let's get you some more content on here. Remember one thing, Mcnasty rules.